Hello and welcome to Rainbow Aura Divination. My name is Kerry. I started this channel because I want to share my love of using dowsing rods for divination. My intention is to help everyone, including myself, find answers to questions and hopefully bring you some peace of mind when it comes to life, death, and everything in between. I upload videos of my dowsing rod spirit Q&A sessions weekly where I ask questions that have been submitted using my Google form. So please make sure to check out those videos. And if you have any questions that you would like me to ask in those dowsing rod sessions, you will find the link to my Google form down below in the video description. In today's video, I will be going over what I do to prepare for my dowsing rod sessions, and I will also be giving a basic tutorial on how to use dowsing rods for divination. I will include timestamps in the video description down below to help break down the content in this video and also to make it so you can jump to different sections easily. If you find that you're enjoying my video, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. You can also click the notification bell to make sure that you don't miss out on any of my future videos. So firstly, you will need a pair of dowsing rods. Sometimes online they can be referred to as divining rods. My rods are L-shaped copper rods with metal tubing that allows them to swing freely. I purchased my first pair of dowsing rods off of eBay for 15 Australian dollars. And I purchased my second pair off of Amazon and they were about 30 Australian dollars. They're a bit lighter and I find that they're better for my videos because you can see them a bit better. Choosing your dowsing rods comes down to personal preference, so just see how they work for you. What is most important is that you make sure that you get a pair where the handle is big enough so that you can hold it comfortably and your hand is not touching the top or the bottom of the dowsing rods and they can move without being restricted. So before I do a dowsing rod session, I usually do some exercise, like a weight session or some cardio. I find that exercise helps me get into a good headspace. I also like to do 5 to 10 minute guided meditations. I find them really calming and they help me clear my mind and make me feel more grounded. I also drink lots of water to make sure I am hydrated. I always have a shower and visualize the water washing away any negativity or residual energy. Anything that does not serve me or align with my highest and greatest good just flows down the drain. You can go for a walk, run, meditate, dance. You can get back to nature, have a bath or a shower. Do whatever you enjoy doing that helps relax you and ground you. When it comes to protecting myself, I have a divine prayer that I usually say in my mind before I hold a dowsing rod session. This divine prayer helps me open space, become more grounded, set my intentions for who I would like to connect and communicate with, and also helps me protect myself spiritually. When grounding myself, I imagine energy flowing down from the universe above, and I also visualize a cord of energy that anchors me to the earth below. In today's video, I will say my divine prayer out loud, but I'm going to close my eyes because it feels a bit weird to keep them open. I usually hold my dowsing rods up close against my heart while I say the divine prayer just to help connect with them. Dear Divine, I open space and ask for it to be filled with love and light, and also those that are here for my highest and greatest good. I ask to please be grounded, and I ask for my vibrations to rise, and I set them to love and learning. It is my purest intention to please connect with only my angels, archangels, and the divine. I thank you for all that you have ever done for me. I know that you exist, and I can feel you here with me. Please watch and guard the open doors and protect me from all negative and lower vibrational energies during my dowsing rod session and beyond. Archangel Michael, I ask you to please be present, ready to protect and defend me. I also ask you to please cut away any residual energies from me that do not align with my highest and greatest good. Archangel Gabriel, I ask you to please open the lines of communication between myself, my angels, and the divine. Dear divine, I am grateful for connecting with you now and always. Thank you for helping me heal and grow. I am grateful for your love, your guidance, your knowledge, and your protection. And so it is. I know the divine prayer is quite long. I put together bits and pieces of prayers that I found along the way that resonated with me. Go with what resonates with you and your own beliefs. I'd like to give credit to Sarah Saving Spirits. A good chunk of this prayer was from what she has shared on her own channel. I adjust my divine prayer based on who I am wanting to connect and communicate with. In the past, when I have wanted to connect with a particular god or goddess, I would send out mental thoughts in the lead up to my dowsing rod sessions, inviting them to come and join me to help answer questions. And when I say my actual divine prayer, I extend my invite to, for example, Krishna or the goddess Hecate, and then I just see if they come through. When I do a spur of the moment dowsing rod session or a quick personal dowsing rod session, I shorten my divine prayer and usually say something like, Dear Divine, I open space and ask for it to be filled with love and light and those that are here for my highest and greatest good. It is my purest intention to please connect and communicate with only my angels, archangels, and the divine. I am grounded, I am protected, I am loved. And so it is. It doesn't need to be long. You just need to clearly communicate your intentions and who you would like to connect with. And just a good thing to know is that angels, archangels, and the divine cannot lie. They can only answer with the truth, and they do not have opinions that can influence their answers to questions. They have the highest access of knowledge and they are closer to source, so they are at a higher vibration and will give you the highest level of protection while connecting with them. When it comes to how to sit and hold the dowsing rods, you just make sure that you're sitting comfortably and relaxed with your arms gently at your sides and rods parallel to the ground. Hold the rods away from your body slightly at about chest height. Try not to lock your elbows in too tightly or hold yourself too rigid, as this can affect the movement of the dowsing rods. You don't want to try and stop the rods from moving. I also find that I'm most comfortable sitting on a chair, but you can stand, you can sit on the floor, whatever is most comfortable for you. I found that the movement of my dowsing rods improved so much when I changed how I was holding my rods. So I make sure that I am holding them with a fist with my thumb on top. So both hands in a, not too tightly, but in a comfortable fist with your thumbs on top without your hands touching the top or the bottom. You will need to clearly communicate how you would like the rods to respond when giving a yes or no answer. So you can move the rods to show how you would like to answer. Some ask for, some people like the rods opening wide for yes and doing an X for no. I am most comfortable with the rods coming together with an X for yes and wide for no. You can also ask the dowsing rods to show you what yes or no response looks like, and you can also ask the rods to show you what a maybe looks like. I think it is best just to keep it simple at the beginning, so maybe just sticking with a yes or no to start with is the best way to go until you get into the flow of it. I always ask permission before I hold a dowsing rod session. I make sure that Spirit is present, and then I ask, do I have permission to hold a dowsing rod session today, and ask questions about, and you say what questions maybe that you'd like to ask, or the topic that you would like to ask about, or maybe you're asking questions on behalf of someone else. And if the rods respond with no, it may be because you're unwell, you're tired, you may need to meditate or do a bit more grounding exercises, or maybe the divine timing isn't right and that Spirit has a reason for why it is not okay to hold a dowsing rod session in that moment. So you can ask for a bit of guidance as to why you can't hold the dowsing rod session. Otherwise, you just leave it and come back at another time or day and give it a go. After confirming that I have permission, I find out who I am connecting with, and I also ask Spirit to point in the direction of their energy. I ask Spirit to point in the direction of their energy just as further acknowledgement of their presence. I like to see which side their energy is coming from. I also feel that I connect better with their energy, and it's also a visual cue for viewers knowing that that energy is right beside me. At the beginning, when you first start using your dowsing rods, just ask simple questions that you know the answer to, just until you feel comfortable with the dowsing rods, and it just helps you align yourself with them and builds that connection. So you can ask, am I standing or am I sitting? Ask things about anything around you, your features, your hair color, and just see how the rods move and just become more comfortable with your dowsing rods. I try to remember to say thank you after every response to a question, and also at the end of my dowsing rod session. Not only is it good manners, but I want to show my love and gratitude for their presence, and also for the energy that they're using to answer all of our questions. When the rods don't move and they remain neutral, I usually reassess how I am feeling, how I'm sitting. Am I feeling a bit uptight and rigid? Do I need to move my arms, adjust them a little bit? Sometimes I shake it out. It could be how I have worded a question. It may not make sense, or I need to break it down more and make the question more specific. Sometimes we are just not meant to know the answer to a question. Sometimes the dowsing rods can struggle if I have my ego or thoughts getting in the way. Maybe I have some doubts that are creeping in, or I have maybe a personal opinion on the topic that I'm asking about. I find singing a song in my head can help distract me and get the rods moving. Also, at any point in a dowsing rod session, take a moment to reconnect and reprogram your rods and ask for a yes movement and a no movement. I find this really helps me, and in my dowsing rod sessions, sometimes you can maybe see the movement is sometimes a little bit slower or not as strong, and then suddenly I'm getting some strong responses, and usually it's because in that moment between the questions I have reconnected, and I just find it helps a lot and I get back into the flow of things. As you go along with your dowsing rod journey, you may find that you'll be receiving more responses than yes, no, or no answer. As I have gone along, I started receiving yes and no answers. So where one rod stays pointing forward and the other rod would open wide. I also started receiving a response where one rod would stay forwards and the rod would come and point towards my shoulder. And I found that to be a response of more complicated, or to delve a bit deeper and take a different approach towards the question or topic that I'm asking about. And the last one is where I have one rod facing forward and the other one points straight across to my other hand, and that is a sort of response. The way I worked this out was I asked. So I asked, what does this mean? And I would actually point it and show and come back, and I would ask, does one rod staying forward and one rod pointing towards my shoulder mean it's more complicated, or and I just clarify and confirm the responses that I'm receiving. If you are unsure of an answer that you are receiving, just ask to confirm. You'll also find that during my videos, sometimes I just need to confirm, was that a yes or was that a no? And just a few last reminders. When asking questions about the future, please remember the future is not set in stone. The dowsing rods will give the most likely answer at that moment in time. We make decisions and choices every moment of the day. So the future is constantly changing. Also, please do not rely on the dowsing rods for medical advice. Please always seek the advice of a medical professional when it comes to your health and well-being. When trying to learn how to use dowsing rods, just remember to keep on practicing, and if you don't feel right in the moment, just put them down and you can always come back to them. I think I had a little bit of a drop of confidence and they stopped moving for a week, so I just gave it a break and then I went back to them and gave it another go. Also, the dowsing rods will not always move quickly, strongly, or perfectly. So just remove all expectations and just let them flow. Give it time. They don't always move immediately, and but you'll find as you go along and relax and become more confident and build that connection, that you will get those moments where they flow really well. Even now, I've done so many dowsing rod session videos, and there are still moments where my dowsing rods struggle to move. And on that note, thank you for watching my video. Please comment down below if you have any questions about using dowsing rods for divination, and I will answer them as soon as I can. If you enjoyed my video, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to check out my other videos with all my dowsing rod sessions. And if you have any questions for one of my dowsing rod sessions, you will find the link to my Google form down below in the video description. Sending you love and light, and I will see you next time on Rainbow Aura Divination.